Hey guys, welcome to the channel. And if you're new here, my name's Deborah. I am an indoor farmer, and I am admitting today that I failed at selling microgreens. Yes, I failed at selling microgreens because I just learned that I am not as passionate about selling microgreens as I am growing food. So I wanted to talk about that process today and how my business is basically pivoting to something completely new. I wanted to talk about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and why you should not ever really give up, even if what you want to do is not working. So basically, I started selling microgreens a couple years ago. I rented out a warehouse. I still have it, which I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do with it later. But I started selling microgreens, started growing, started selling. And I was selling to restaurants and private chefs, but I just didn't really have I have a background in sales. I've done inside sales before, but I just did not like the restaurant industry, like selling to restaurants, because maybe it was just my area, my location, but honestly, like a lot of the places were very, very I had to chase people for my money. Okay. Like I had to chase a lot of people for my money. Then I had private chefs who were very interested in my product because my microgreens are great, but they only wanted like a small amount and they only wanted a certain amount when they needed it. So it was like growing was very sporadic and it was very hard. And then a lot of the restaurants that could purchase from me, or that would probably purchase large, bats from me, or like large, that would purchase large amounts from me, they were franchises or owned by large companies, and getting all the way up to the top was quite a lot of work. Now, mind you, while I was growing microgreens, I also was working and am working a full-time job. I absolutely love growing food, but the process of microgreens just was not for me. So I finally, after much toil and pushing and trying to figure it out, I just kind of decided, I just don't really think that this was for me. And I had a lot of family health problems, from my mom to my sister, and running my sister's business and stuff like that, trying to make sure that everything was okay. It just kind of felt like everything was really overwhelming and nothing was really kind of lining up, But I knew that I didn't really want to get out of growing food. And the thing about entrepreneurship that a lot of people will tell you is that you're gonna have to eat rocks sometimes. You're gonna have to eat dirt, not rocks, but eat dirt. You're gonna have to put in a lot of money and lose it and not necessarily get a return on your investment. And you're gonna have to try things out, and you're gonna have to fail, because you're never really going to make the best decision until you just try. You won't know unless you just do it and you just try. And I did it. I just did it. I just tried it and I failed at it. And I realized I didn't like microgreens, and I love eating them. Don't get me wrong. I love eating them. But I just didn't like the selling process. And then trying to learn how to ship online and sell online and stuff like that, it just got really, really complicated and overwhelming for me. And I just didn't really feel like that particular thing was my calling. So then I took some time off because I had to kind of recuperate from between trying to sell with my business and things being up and down, and then the family stuff, and then learning that I had to fail and I had to try in order to figure things out. I decided that I wanted to just go ahead and, move in a different direction. So when I first wanted to start selling microgreens, I actually knew originally that I wanted to sell hydroponics, but I felt like microgreens would be a really great way to get my foot in the door, just to kind of figure out how, the whole process works, because I'm coming from a completely different career. But now it's I really want to just go after that original dream, which was to sell hydroponic systems and to sell hydroponics. But more importantly, something that I definitely learned is that because I love growing, and I learned this through TikTok lives, which is crazy, but because I love growing food, I actually prefer to teach people how to grow food. Because I notice a lot of people ask me questions about like the growing process of microgreens, how it works and things like that. And then the health side of it all, because I am a bit of a health nut. I absolutely love taking care of my body. And so, especially because, you know, I got sick in the past. If you check out the link below, the Right to Health podcast, you can actually see where I talk about my health issues and what led me into wanting to start an indoor farm anyway. But I basically want to, you know, teach people how to grow. So that leads me to my business pivot. So like I said, with entrepreneurship, you know, like a lot of people don't want to necessarily talk about how hard it is to fail because you feel like a failure, especially if you're a perfectionist like me, or you hold yourself to a really high standard. And it was really hard because it's like no money was really coming in the way I needed it to come in to cover just my baseline. And that was really heartbreaking for me because I felt like I was just always working with no return. But sometimes that's just the process. So with this new business pivot, I wanted to do it in a way that felt more aligned and more authentic. So I brought my phone because I took some notes about where I'm headed with my channel and what I want to do with my channel. Because yeah, I want to be really transparent going forward with this channel. I don't want to like be pretending that I'm doing great and everything's wonderful. I really want to show you guys like my step-by-step with this new chapter, with this new business pivot, with basically moving Ascension Greens into a direction that I feel aligns more with who I am versus just growing food because, I don't know, it's either a fad. So with this new business pivot, I discovered that I really just love growing food, eating healthy, helping people, and connecting with the planet. Like, I just love Mother Earth. I always have. I've been a big proponent of, you know, taking care of our planet because we only have one. And so because of that, you know, I've really just been in a place where I know what I've always wanted. I just was always too afraid to go for it. So this is that journey where I'm asking for you guys to just follow me along and see the crazy stuff that I'm about to do. Okay. So, okay. So basically, instead of growing microgreens, like I said, I want to empower people to grow their own food, reconnect with their health, their roots, and the earth in the most raw, real, and authentic way. Like, literally, that's what I wrote down. Like, I know that that's the thing that I want to do because that's what I wrote down. And I know that that's like what's in my heart. Additionally, I mean, that's what led me to microgreens in the first place. It wasn't just because it was a fad. It wasn't just because, oh, it's microgreens. It was really because I was trying to find a way to help people heal their bodies the same way that I healed mine. And I knew that the only way to do that was through food. I mean, that's it, right? Like, that's my thing, is like through food. But the problem was, for me, I just didn't like the process of growing microgreens, and I didn't like who I was selling it to. And a lot of the times when I was selling to chefs, they were using it as a garnish anyway. They weren't actually eating it because microgreens have 4 to 40 times the amount of nutrients, minerals, and vitamins than adult veggies. So it's kind of like, you know, one of those things where I didn't really feel like I was helping anybody, I guess. Does it make sense? I really wanted to help people, and I started trying to focus on people, but trying to convey the idea of microgreens just wasn't working, right? I plan on turning this channel into more of a lifestyle channel, not just me sitting in front of the camera talking about microgreens. And I've archived those videos so that way, you know, I can basically start fresh with this channel. And what I would like to do is basically teach people how to grow their own food with my hydroponic systems to help people reconnect to where their food comes from. So I plan on going on farm tours, which is just absolutely so cool to me because I love traveling and I love going to farms. So this is going to be a win-win. And then I'd love to help people reconnect with planet Earth. That is just like one of the coolest things to me, so that I'd love for people to be able to help reconnect with Mother Earth whether it be through meditation, building community, going out in nature, and in so many other ways. So I'm virtually turning this channel into a lifestyle channel, connecting you with all the things that I absolutely love and being able to share those with you, rather than trying to fight and force a business to work. Instead, I'll be offering my products on my website and in, the description and captions below. But at the end of the day, I really just want to be able to build a community of people that share the same values and ideals as I do, and can go along this journey with my whole business pivot and self-discovery journey as well. Okay, so first things first, how on earth am I going to do this? So over the next 6 months, I'd like to turn my indoor farm warehouse, because I absolutely love my warehouse. I don't want to get rid of it. It's super tiny. It fits me perfectly. I really want to turn it into a studio. So with this studio, I plan on showing you how to grow your own hydroponic systems. I'll be meditating, doing yoga, having fun in there, and just basically working overall, because I still will be running a company online. And then I also want to be able to just have a space to go and build community and have workshops locally, because that is so my thing, and I think it's just really cool. Then I also would like to build my own high-tech hydroponic system myself, starting with just a very basic prototype that probably won't be super high-tech, but it'll be leading up to something pretty big that you will find out more about as you stick around and hang out with my channel. Then I also drive a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and it can tow quite a bit. So on my farm tours in the beginning, I'll just be going local, but I want to go far and wide. I want to reach people that are doing unique things out there with farming and growing food and agriculture. So I also plan in the next 6 months to outfit my car to be able to tow a camper trailer and to be able to travel around the United States, because hello, isn't that amazing? And to be able to travel around the United States, because that is just absolutely dope to me, and I would love to take this particular car on so many adventures. And then one of the reasons why I got into growing food is because I particularly had some major health issues for a couple years starting in 2021, and I used food to be able to heal that. So I want to be able to share my health journey, my consistent health journey with you guys, and I do plan on running a 5K at the end of the year. So I also want to be able to document that as well and bring you guys along my journey. So for the last one of the reasons I got into growing microgreens is because I had some health issues starting back in 2021. I had massive fibroids, had to get those removed. Gosh, they were huge. One of them was the size of a baby's head. Like, oh, it was crazy. And so I started learning about food and health, and I ended up going plant-based, going raw, all that kind of stuff. I'm still plant-based in order to heal my body. And if I show you guys pictures from 2021, 2022, 2023 even, you guys would be like, oh my gosh, she looks like a whole nother person. So on this channel, I'd like to be able to, still work on getting my health to the absolute peak that's possible. So I would love for you guys to join me on my health journey as I use food to help improve my body, and at the same time run a 5K at the end of the year. And I'd love for you guys to come along on that training journey, because that is definitely something that I am definitely looking forward to, because I love health and wellness, right? So with all that said, I just want to say, please do not be afraid to fail. There's going to be so many times that you're going to fail in life, and you're going to feel like a failure. Like, don't get me wrong. I was feeling pretty low for a while, and it took me a while to kind of crawl out of my, state of, oh, nothing's going right, and to just step back, get out of my, my thinking loop, to just get out of my thinking loop and reconnect with myself. And so taking the time away to really just reassess my business and realize like what it is that I need to do for me, that I feel like it's helping me show up as the best person that I can show up as. But realistically, you gotta fail sometimes. Like, you gotta fail, you gotta mess up, you gotta not make money, and you gotta just do it. But you won't know it until you do it. And sometimes you just have to be afraid of you have to just not be afraid of just doing it, because you won't know until you do it. And I'm so excited that you guys get to follow along on my journey. But most importantly, I just think it's really cool to be able to come to you saying like, hey, I failed, and I know what it feels like, and I know what it feels like when life sucks and when things don't go the way that you want them to go, instead of coming in front of you acting and pretending as if nothing went wrong. Like, no, absolutely not. Everything went wrong. And I almost lost everything in this process as well, because all of the money that I was making was literally going to my business, whether that be covering my light bill, my warehouse, trying to cover my insurance, buying seed, soil, marketing, all that stuff. Like, it was very hard, and I'm usually so good at most of everything that I do. So not being good at this was really hard. But now I can finally say that I'm coming into this world again with my ideas and with myself being able to be as authentic and raw as possible. I've never been able to do this. And so, y'all, I'm excited. But I just wanted to say thank you so much if you made it through this entire video. Please be sure to like and subscribe, because I have so many adventures and so many fun things coming your way. And I hope that you can follow along this journey and be able to get something out of it. My whole goal is to be able to help and serve humanity, and, you know, to reconnect with Mother Earth, because I think she's trying to get us to, you know, get back on it. Okay? But yeah, thank you so much. Peace out, family.